guys, welcome to another episode of Gi Up or Shut Up. Joining me once again, Tyler Calvey, and we got a lot of people at this point competing, right? Getting ready for competition and training right now for competition. So we want to talk to you guys about what our blueprint is for getting ready for a competition. And to do that, we're going to be bringing in the special guest today, Mr. Kevin Roginski. Let's bring him in now and get started here. What's up, fella?
What's up, fellas?
All right, so what are we thinking? Everything starts at this point with work ethic. You're getting ready for the tournament, and we got to start with work ethic. So let's talk about work ethic a little bit, Ty.
It's the mindset, of putting your best effort forth, and if that's the conditioning, the diet, all the preparation that comes into it. Some people think it's just going hard during a roll, but work ethic is on the mat and off the mat as well. If anything, it starts off the mat and translates onto the mat.
Yeah, definitely. Kev, kind of work ethic, mindset, making that commitment, right?
Yeah.
The first big step.
Absolutely. Was making sure, when I accepted to do this competition, I was, I had to look at everything. You got to be here. Work ethic for me was being here. Looking at how I'm eating. I got to get the weight down. I got to be able to move better. And the work ethic for me was just getting here and drilling and doing everything I needed to do to prepare myself. The work ethic is the main part, and the mindset too. I really worked on my mindset for this time because I have a tendency to drift away a lot in my mind.
Yeah. And I think you guys both hit things that we're obviously going to talk about in this video as far as like nutrition, conditioning, and everything. But that first and foremost, I think that work ethic starts with it's called work. You got to show up and you got to work. You can say all you want. You want to be a world champion. You want to be IBJJF champion and this champion and that champion. But if you don't do the work and show up in the day of the match and the tournaments and perform, it's just talk. Talk is cheap.
I think first though, I think all the world champions that we look at that are great, I don't think their mindset at the beginning was, as a white belt, I want to be a world champion. It was, I want to be the best jiu-jitsu player I can be.
Right.
And from that, you see the potential and the outreach, being able to test your skills and take your skills on the road and see what you're made of. Some guys, I think, if you get into this to become a world champion, I don't know how long that motivation is going to last when you hit the roadblocks. If you say, I'm going to commit to becoming a great jiu-jitsu player, learning the art, loving the art, all the accolades and belts and awards and titles and championships can all come from that.
Right. Yeah. So let's start breaking down some of the things you guys pointed on. We'll start with nutrition. Right. Nutrition for all three of us has really changed over the last 3 to 4 months, and it visibly so. People are commenting your body's changed, you're down weight, you're this, you're that. What are some of the biggest changes you made in your nutrition, your diet?
I would say, the limitation on the sweets, and my big thing that I started to read a little bit on the Gracie diet and stuff like that, and carb mixtures was a big thing. You could have a burger, but burger and fries, not so much,
right.
And as Americans, we're kind of conditioned to put anything good between 2 pieces of bread and add some French fries to it, and that can kind of slow digestion, slow your motivation, make you more tired, and in the result put weight on you, and not good for competition or to train on a daily basis.
How about you? You made a lot of changes.
Yeah, I made a lot of changes. As you can tell, my gi fits me a little better doing the same thing,
Close it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fat guy BJJ still going strong, people.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Fat guy BJJ is still, he's not going to be out of the club anytime soon. So, but he's just down. He's healthier.
I'm healthier. I feel a lot better. I owe it to you guys for letting me step up and accept this challenge. That you guys pulled me to the side and said, "Listen, you're fat. Do something about it." And so I was struggling there, and
And two,
I think that was the exact words
yeah.
too.
But what we want to make, when we say that, it's not in the, oh, you don't look like we want you to look.
Right.
It's, you know, if your performance is suffering, you know, that's where, you know, the weight and the conditioning and the nutrition need to come in. It's not about how you look and, oh, I got abs and this and that. It's about how do I move, how do I feel.
Right, absolutely.
You know, we're never, you know, here saying, oh, you're too this, or we're not America's top model here. This is jiu-jitsu. You could be who you want to be. I'm trying.
You are.
But when it comes to, you know, your performance and how do you feel since those changes, your performances?
God, man, I'm moving so better, and my timing's on. Like everything from where I was 3 months ago to where I am today, my jiu-jitsu has gone beyond to where I'm at my best with jiu-jitsu right now because of what I've done. Is my eating habits, like listening to you guys talk, and you know, you guys are my coaches and also my best friends, and just listening, I said, you know, as Helson Gracie says, Elliot Gracie isn't giving a guy a black belt with 300 pounds who's not willing to do the next right thing, and you know, of course everybody wants to achieve the black belt, and I have to look at what my life is doing. Am I representing what it takes to be that to the next level? And to watch you guys and admire what you do, I said, you know, I'm going to accept the challenge and jump on board and really start watching what I'm eating. And I did what Tyler said was, you know, Kev, have the burger. Don't get the 20 chicken wings plus the fries. You know, these guys get fries, I get chicken wings. You know what I mean? And, you know, like leaving after a hardcore training, not saying, oh, well, I trained real hard today, and go get the large pie. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. I would go home, I would have a sandwich, just a sandwich, and just a lot of things like that. And like we talked about that fasting diet, I think that for me, it helped me out a lot, you know, like, because I didn't lose a lot of weight. I'm not on the scale, people, trust me. I'm not getting on the scale saying, I'm not losing any weight. It was about what we touched about, my movements. You know, I'm moving, like I'm going through the drills and I'm not breathing heavy. I'm moving. I'm seeing things better. I can get to A, B, C. I see C and I can get to C. And I offer it's from the nutrition, man. You read about it, you hear people talking about it, you know. And that's what it was for me, is the nutrition for this whole training for up to this was definitely my nutrition and the work ethic. You know, that's part of the work ethic.
Yeah, and it shows,
Yeah, it does. It definitely shows.
You know, I got some compliments last night when we were training. They're like, "Kev, wow, you're moving pretty good. You weren't moving like that a while back, and you know, you were like 2-3 steps ahead of me. You know, and these are guys half my age, so I take that as a compliment and attest to you guys for helping me get there."
Yeah, the clean eating I think is a big thing. You know, your body is a vehicle. And when you put the wrong fuel into your vehicle's not going to run.
Absolutely.
You put leaded fuel into your unleaded fuel tank, or diesel fuel into your unleaded fuel tank. That car's not going to run right. So the right food is going to translate to everything, particularly conditioning.
Right.
You know, obviously eating well is going to allow our bodies to perform, but you know, conditioning got to be off the mat too. You know, we've all done extras off the mat. You know, you're obviously getting a good jiu-jitsu workout in the class, you're doing the warm-ups, you're drilling, you're sparring, but that work ethic, again, are you doing things off of the mat? And I know we've all incorporated running, you know, whether it be a long-distance run or hill sprints or whatever it is, into it, and I hate running. I despise it, and you know, but I added it in because it's going to help. It's going to help my jiu-jitsu performance, and that was a big thing for me. What have you guys added into to yours as far as like a conditioning goes?
I started to more of circuit training, a little bit of circuit training, lightweight, high reps, time limits, and hill sprints are always tight flips. Those are a couple of the conditioning moves because they help with overall body strength and you know, and conditioning as well, anaerobic, aerobic at the same time type exercises.
How about you? I know you were doing some running, right?
Yeah, I was doing some running, and saw my boy Tyler here digging deep, you know, putting up his posts and stuff, and I jumped on a circuit training with him, you know, you see a black belt who's he's doing it. If he's doing it, I need to do it. You know, everybody wants to walk around, got the black belts, You know, I'm a higher rank than this guy. I don't need to do the warm up. I don't need to do that extra. You know, and people talk about that stuff. You know, what's going on behind the scenes? What's going on behind the scenes is that you see guys like these guys working extra hard. So if they're doing it, and I want to be like them, and I want to be better at jiu-jitsu, so these guys are good at jiu-jitsu, I need to jump on board. And it was just doing like the running and getting in on the circuit training. You know, that's stuff I've been doing. Jeff, what have you been doing?
Running. I was doing some distance running, and then Tyler yelled at me about distance running because I'm really old and rickety.
Yeah.
So he yelled at me about distance running and change it over to the hills and the hill sprints and heading over to McDade and doing the hill sprints. So, you know, I got to go a couple of times with Ty, and then, you know, then it was on me to go on my own and get it done on my own. And like I said, running, I despise running. I learned how to fight, so I didn't ever have to run. So if I'm running, there's a really good reason for it, because I despise it. So, you know, I think we've all done that. Better nutrition, better conditioning on and off the mat. As far as like on the mat stuff, when you're tournament prepping, what's the most important thing to be working on for tournament?
Bad positions.
Bad positions, yeah.
Big bridges, big hip escapes.
Yeah, going back to the basics, right? Going back to the basics, hip escaping, bridging, rolling. What are the high percentage escapes? What are the high percentage finishes? You know I wasn't doing a lot of spider guard, berimbolo, and that kind of stuff to get ready for my match. I know you guys weren't either, because, you know, we were all there together training, and we killed basics, we killed movements, we killed transitions, we killed positions. The submission, I feel, will come if all your basics are in order. Or more importantly, if you find yourself in trouble, you got to be able to fall back real fast on those basics. They got to be automatic reflex to be able to escape a bad position or a choke or an arm lock that you might be caught in.
Well, the basics are the reason why jiu-jitsu is great, because those are the things that are truly ingrained in you. Because those are when you get in a bad spot, when you get a little nervous, when you get a little scared, when you get a little tired, it's going to be, your mind will find those things deep down in your muscle memory, rather than that cool submission you learned off the internet the other day. So that's the thing where some guys, they want the cool techniques, but we always say, you know, the basics, bump, bridge, hip escape, and roll are always going to be the safer, surer bet than some high percentage or low percentage submission from side control. Well, a guy got you in side control. You might catch that choke once in a while, but in competition, when it's a fight, it's no longer a match between two friends just trying to get better. It becomes a struggle and a fight, and they don't want to lose. Nobody goes into a tournament wanting to lose.
Right.
So when the adrenaline gets going, the mind starts racing, and you get a little tired. You know, the best bet is to stick with the basics and the good techniques that are always going to be there for you.
Yeah, for sure. What else? Addressing your weaknesses, right?
Yes.
You know, that's a big thing, addressing your weaknesses on the mat, getting ready, especially getting ready for the competition. If every time you compete, you're getting submitted by a foot lock or a heel hook, then there's a problem.
Yep.
And you're not addressing the problem. You got to go into the gym, start working on it. What kind of weaknesses do you guys feel like you've worked recently and improved upon?
I'd have to say my guard. Really, you know, as a bigger guy, it's easy to want to pass and smash and grind and a lot of pressure. However, I really needed to work on my guard. You know, guy takes you down, I'm just not going to lay there. You know what I mean? I got to start working on my guard. And Ty here was big on that. Kept starting your guard, starting your guard, starting your guard. You know, and that's one of my weaknesses there. My weaknesses is not trying to get too far down the road. You know what I mean? Like we're, you know, staying in the moment, staying in today. Like what are we doing today? We're training. It's far away. And as a guy like me, I go far away, and I brought it back, and I really worked on that. Not really thinking about things, just really focusing on what are we training about. You know, getting back to basics, like we talked about. You know, we have a model around here when all else fails. What do? We hip escapes, and it was just the things like that. The little things you hear in class, and you're just sitting around the mat and after training, still doing jiu-jitsu and just converting and things. Just they're the biggest things I learned a lot. And they're the things we teach around here is, you know, basics, getting right with stuff like that. Oh, it's felt hip escape. You know, what are you doing? You know, are you helping others in here? You know, just things like that. And it keeps the mindset right. You know.
What did you feel as far as like a hole in your game that you've been working on or fixed?
I've really been working on my wrestling, I'd say, you know, and even so much as to go and cross train with some other gyms,
Yep.
you know, to up that. So, yeah, the wrestling, you know, especially, you know, my match this week's no gi, and, you know, just the wrestling, the pace, the transitions from the feet, you know, because we do a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, we're always on the ground, you know, but, you know, sometimes you gotta really address the technical aspect of the takedowns, which we've done, but it was all good to go and cross train. It's always good to go and cross train too when you're getting ready for a tournament. Go train with other guys, you know, spread the love. You know, there's always something to be learned, you know, and improve upon for sure.
Yeah. I know for me, a lot of it was my being a little too patient at times, being a little too timid at times.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody knows my control. I get on top of you, it's hard. You know, you're going to be stuck under me for a long time, but I wasn't shooting a lot of submission. I was keeping it playful.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And you know, that's when you guys kind of came to me and said, "Yo, it's time to start getting a little dirty. Time to start getting a little grimy. You know, push the pace, start killing people. You know, preach. You know, you're letting people take the shots and kill the master. Well, it's time for you to start killing the students. You know, so that was a big thing for me, was just coming a little less patient and a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, and that was something I worked on a lot. So I've apologized countless times to people for the what time is it and the head control and all kinds of nasty, grimy shit. Shout out to Rob Kahn. Yeah, that's a big thing I addressed in my weaknesses. Let's start wrapping it up as far as like what else we did to prepare for this. Developing game plans. You know, I never go in without a game plan, no matter what no matter what the parameter of the competition is. Even if a fight were to sneak up on me in the street, I still in my mind already have a game plan for what I would do in a fight. So, you know, I have a game plan, you have a game plan, Ty has a game plan. Obviously, we're not going to divulge the game plans, but having game plans is important. You know, obviously, if something goes wrong, you have stuff to fall back on. You know, but you're not taking the NFL gridiron every week without a game plan. And you got plays in mind, you got things in mind. If it's not working, we fix it on the fly. But you know, guys, develop your game plan for sure. Have a game plan anytime you're going to compete, whether it's grappling, MMA, gi, no gi, whatever it is. I think that everything, the work ethic, all of that starts to speak then to getting your mind right. And you spoke a lot about that.
Right.
You know, getting your mind right, not being distracted. What are some of the things that have helped get your mind right for this one? Because you even talked about it. You said the last one your mind just wasn't right for it.
Right.
It wasn't right at all. You know, what kind of things do you feel have got your mind right this time around?
For me, getting my mind right was just more kind of just coming to train. You know, I just needed to come train. You know, what did I do different last time? I tried not to do the same.
Right.
You know, and big was nutrition, huge nutrition, doing that extra rep, you know, doing that extra hip escape, getting to the end of the mat and do it, not go halfway to the mat. You know, just knowing that I did everything possible and I felt I did everything right. You know, I listened this time. I wasn't felt like, oh, you know, I'm the coach, I can do what I want, you know, coach. And just getting my mind right, man. Just getting it right. Just focusing on what I need to do. Just staying in the moment, dude. You know what I mean? Just staying in the moment. You know, just living for today. You know, not going what's going on down there. You know, did I train hard today? Did I eat right today? Did I stay positive today? Just what jiu-jitsu is all about. You know, just the integrity of it, the honor of it. You know. Like for me, sometimes I don't like going down that path. I want to stay in the moment, and I think I really worked hard on that, and I stayed in the moment. You know, I feel comfortable today. Yesterday was great. This whole training was great. I had a great experience. It's, you know, I'm 44 years old, diabetic, and I'm probably in one of my better shapes I've been in a long, long time. And I think that's getting my mind right.
Yeah.
It's everything, you know.
It all comes together. When you do all the work up front, then your mindset is right for that moment of competition. And you and I have dealt with, you know, we've competed a lot. over the years. So, we've had our moments too where we're like, are we ready? Did we do enough? And if you have that mindset, I think the day of the competition, the answer is no, you probably didn't do enough.
Absolutely.
But, in recent years, I've walked into any scenario going, I'm ready. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready.
Yeah. There's the mind is a tricky thing. You get into that adrenaline rush, and it is your body telling you, all right, let's go. It's time to get ready. But the psychology of it, sometimes you start to second guess your own self, and that's where you got to take those demons and beat them down to the cellar and lock it up. And but you can draw from to beat those negative demons. You can draw from the things that you've done. And did I diet? Yes. Did I exercise? Yes. Did I do the extra things? Well then, hey, then I'm just gonna go in there and let the chips fall where they may.
Right.
The big thing I always say is a guy can be bigger, stronger, faster, better technique, whatever the case is, but I'm never gonna lose because I felt he worked harder than me. If he beats me, it's because he was better, he had better skills. But I'm not gonna ever second guess and say, man, I wish I did this or I wish I did that. Maybe I wish I hit that sweep or I wish I hit that submission, but that's in the match. I'm saying pre-match, yeah, you have to have that, and you got to be willing to grind. There's going to be times where you have to dig down and put that mind over matter.
Yep.
And I don't even know if it's mind over matter because that's like a conscious thing. It's that just keep pushing through that scramble to win that scramble.
It's that mental toughness.
Yeah,
that mental toughness,
man.
Yeah.
Because we've seen guys, we talk about all the time. There's guys who are more talented than us that have come and gone, and there's kids who are in their 20s, really flexible, great for jiu-jitsu, but taps everybody in the gym. But when you get in there and the spotlight hits you, that grind ability, you have to be able to grind and get grinded, and push through. And you find out a lot about yourself during a competition. You find more about yourself in some losses than you do in some wins. So you have to be able to take the good and the bad.
Yep.
Losses are not always the worst thing that ever happened. Some of the best strides in my jiu-jitsu game has come from losses. So yeah, just getting your mind right and doing the little things. When you get at the end of the day, the pie. Did you do all the things of the pie? Is there any pieces of the pie missing?
Yep.
I love pie.
So if you feel that, like you said, if you're questioning, did I do enough? You probably didn't.
Yeah.
You have to go into the competition saying, I did everything before this day started.
Yeah.
Now, hey, let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll give an insight into the last time we competed, which was down in Alexandria,
Yeah.
and we all had matches and everything. And I think people a lot of times they see the black belt and they assume perfection. And I know that I hit a moment in that match where for a brief second, I was like, oh fuck, did I do enough? And it was in that first 5 minutes because that guy was younger, stronger, athletic, like he had every physical edge with me.
Yeah.
And that match started at a fast pace. And at about that 5 minute mark, I was like, oh fuck, man, this kid is he's gonna put me in a grave. Like I'm gonna have a heart attack, But I made that decision mentally to say, then so be it. And the 7 minute mark hit, my lungs opened up, and then, but in that moment of weakness, had I given in, it's a different story. I don't beat that kid then, So we still, even the black belts, we still have those moments of doubt and the mental tenacity.
It's human.
It's human. We're human. Yeah. And we push through it, and we persevere through it, and finish what we need to do. Last thing, rest and relaxation.
Yes.
That's huge part of your training. People will call me and it says, oh, we're currently training and can't take your call, and they know I'm taking a nap, and they joke about that sometimes. They're like, you're not training, you're napping. No, napping is part of my training.
Yeah.
I got to nap. I got to be ready for the the evening sessions after the morning sessions and the running and all of that. So rest and relaxation is super important. We do a lot of resting and relaxing outside. We go as a team and we chill and we eat and we laugh and what have you. So play Madden, whatever it is people are doing to chill and relax.
Ultimate Team.
Yeah, spend time with family.
Red Ned.
Yeah. Spend time with the family. That's a big
Yeah.
one. Go to the movies, whatever. So make time to rest and relax. Don't get so focused on the match and the competition that you burn out. And we've seen people burn out on the lowest levels and the highest levels of competition. We've seen people burn out, come and go, burn out. So make time for R&R. All right, guys. So this tomorrow, Gym Wars 3. We all got matches. And, you know, thank you. I think I'm prepared. I know you guys are prepared.
Thank you guys.
So,
Thank you guys. Thanks
Thank you
everybody
guys.
that helped us get ready for this. Gracie NEPA, Swarsville,
Kurt
all you
Oceander,
guys-
baby.
Kurt
Oceander,
Oceander,
Rob Kahn.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Guys, we
Appreciate
feel
it.
Black
great.
Hole BJJ.
Yeah.
Black Hole,
Come
yeah,
on,
a lot
go
of
out,
people have helped
represent.
us get ready, so we're going to represent really, really well for everybody, ourselves and you guys all. Thank you for the love and love back to you guys. Thanks, fellas.
Hard work on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hard work!